TechCrunch, I have an important question for you. Wouldn't you love to have an extra $24,000 in your pocket? That's right, I like that guy. Well, that is the average commission that you will pay to buy or sell your home in California. So get ready, because the real estate industry is about to be disrupted. Welcome home to Allre.com. We do online real estate transactions with no agents and no commissions. My name is Kathy Dryden, and I'm a recovering real estate agent. I'm also the founder of Allre, and I'm inspired by the fact that homeownership feels amazing, because there's no place like home. But I was really disappointed in the fact that the US real estate industry lacks transparency, trust, and still uses a broker to facilitate the sale for a really high fee. It's utterly painful to watch as buyers and sellers go through the process with no direct access to information, tools, and each other, and they'll fork over 6% of the value of their home to do it this way. So why are we doing this to ourselves? As consumers, we have a high familiarity with completing online financial transactions. Payments, travel, stocks, and cars, all made possible because we had instant access to information and an online platform to close those deals. So today, I'm here to ask you, can you imagine doing a real estate transaction online? Introducing Allre, the first and only online marketplace that gives buyers and sellers everything they need to do a real estate transaction online for free. We're excited to show you how it works. Meet an Allre user, Maggie. Maggie is moving from San Diego to San Francisco and has decided to sell her home on Allre. She can easily begin the listing process by inputting her home's property address and confirming that the information is correct. We will then show Maggie a list of comparable properties that best match her home. This helps her set a fair and competitive price for her property. We will display these on a value bar, and Maggie will place her home on the bar. This gets shown to potential buyers, so they have a better understanding of how Maggie's home compares to her neighbor's. From there, Maggie can continue the listing process by inputting standard details about her home, including amenities, photos, a customizable showing schedule, and of course, easy to understand listing terms. She's on her way to San Francisco, and her home is available for sale on Allre.com. Meet another Allre user, Jack. Jack is moving to San Diego to spend his days surfing and checking out our beautiful sunsets. He's totally stoked to have found Maggie's home on Allre because it features a gorgeous view of his favorite surfing spot. Jack has already been through our required identity verification and mortgage approval process, so he is ready and excited to be a home buyer. He can purchase the property in one of three ways: Instabuy, which is a one-click acceptance of Maggie's listing terms, a traditional make an offer process, or a real-time negotiation. He's going to hit the waves early today, so he's going to enter a negotiation with Maggie now. This is a guided discussion that we have provided. On the left-hand side, as you can see, we have provided a web chat portal, and on the right-hand side outlined all of the terms that Jack and Maggie will need to agree upon in order to constitute that contract. When they're done negotiating, they will simply hit Let's Enter Escrow, and we will autofill our plain English contract with their terms and direct them to sign it online instantly. And boom, they are now in escrow. This is the point at which most transactions are typically mismanaged, and buyers and sellers have no clue what's actually happening and when it will close. We solved this issue with our amazing transaction manager technology. It handles every task for every party every single day. And since we're integrated with one of the largest closing services companies in the world and the fourth largest mortgage lender in the country, who is Prime Lending, at any given moment, buyer, seller, title, escrow lender can log on, choose a task they want to complete right here from the site, and get a real-time update of when it will close. Jack and Maggie will close a deal that's secure, efficient, and best of all, puts the power of buying and selling one of their largest assets into their hands. This market is giant. There are over 7 million homes sold in this country every year. 2 million and growing are already for sale by owner transactions, making this process that I just showed you very difficult without a system like Allre. Our transaction manager takes a typical 30 to 60 day escrow process and transforms it into an efficient and transparent 10-day escrow. We also take perfect strangers and transform them into verified and trusted buyers and sellers. But the best part, are you ready for this one? We do it for a lot less, as in free. So you can take that $24,000 and go to Hawaii, like 10 times. Allre's revenue is generated from our interactive platform, which allows our users to do business with our partners in mortgage, insurance, home warranty, and lockboxes. We're thrilled to be here at TechCrunch Disrupt and to announce that we are launching in the San Diego market and will be featuring exclusive inventory on our site. Join the Allre community as we disrupt the real estate industry, because there is no place like home on allre.com. Thank you.
All right.
Awesome product.
Thank you.
I mean, it's great. Your business model is revenue comes from mortgages and from the secondary part of the market? Is that?
Absolutely. So we don't charge buyers and sellers anything, and that's on purpose, because if we do, then it throws us under RESPA regulations. So we let them use the technology for free, and then we've built a pretty awesome interactive platform for our users to do business with our partners. Right now, we basically have one in every vertical: mortgage, home insurance, lockboxes.
Will you have multiple?
And we will eventually have multiple, absolutely. The second tier to that is that we actually put our partners in front of the users at the exact moment that they need them. So for instance, if you're buying a house and it's your task today is to get home insurance, we actually send you an email and say, today you need to get home insurance, and here is a quote that's already been prepared for you from one of our partners. So we're actually sort of getting ahead of the process, and our partners really like that.
So one more question. How are you going to go to market? Because obviously what's key here is to get enough buyers and sellers onto the marketplace so that those dynamics can start kicking in.
Absolutely. So we have San Diego's our home market. I said I'm a recovering real estate agent. I really am. I was an agent for 10 years. And that's where the majority of my connections lie. So that's why we're launching there. We have investors that will be putting exclusive inventory on our site that won't be available anywhere else. And so initially, because we're going to be in the ground working San Diego market and pushing that inventory, that's where we will be. The San Diego market, and a lot of markets actually around the country right now, have an inventory shortage. So if something like this opens up and we say, hey, we have more homes to look at, it's actually a really good thing, and we fully anticipate buyers to come over to our platform. We also have been building up an interest list for quite a while as we've been building the technology. So we have about 60 to 70 sellers ready to list their homes in the San Diego market as well.
You referenced some regulations that would have been in the way. You have to, I'm guessing that part of the reason that this, because it's ripe for disruption, part of the reason it hasn't, my guess is that if you charge any fee whatsoever, then you're going to have to deal with a lot more hurdles. And because of the fact that you charge zero, you're able to get around a loophole?
Yeah, in a way. Yes, if we charge a fee, we could be considered a broker, which would put us under RESPA regulations. And so since we're basically providing technology just for buyers and sellers to use, and we're not acting as a broker or charging commission, we're a completely separate.
And in order for it to work, there could be like a listing agent, but does it have to be both sides in order for it to work?
Our technology originally was just completely for the buy-owner market. That's not to say that, let's say you find a house on Allre and you have an agent. You really want to use an agent. We don't tell you not to. What we do is we encourage you to have a separate contract with your agent, which is how it's done nowadays. It's just done at a different point in time in the sale. So we absolutely encourage people to do the transactions the way that they're comfortable, but they can have access to our transaction manager system and then pay their agent separately. My hope is that piece actually helps put some downward pressure on the commission fees in this industry and put some upward pressure on the amount of service that agents are providing for their clients.
So, quick question. So, once a bunch of people start badgering me for my insurance and all this other stuff, who owns that relationship? Do you or do they? And what puts a stop on them calling me every 6 months like they do?
Absolutely. So we own that relationship. And we are the filter of the information that goes to the consumer, because I absolutely don't want them being badgered. I've been on, you know, some online lending sites and stuff, and then I get 50 calls in one day, and that's not our intention. Our intention is to provide really reputable, great partners for our consumers that say, hey, like, here's some options, and call us if you want, but we're telling our partners, you can't call them 50 times a day. It's actually the consumer is the one that starts that relationship and fills out the information and says, please contact me about this. So that's the initial connection between the consumer and the partner.
And the other thing, you know, this stuff is complex stuff, and I just looking at your website, there's a lot
Absolutely.
going on. How can you strip that down and make it really much simpler? Because it's too... Woo.
Too much.
Yeah.
It's really difficult in 6 minutes to show everything we do. In fact, that was a challenge, is how much content we actually have, because it is a really complicated transaction. There's about 50 moving or more pieces at one time. We have, and you saw a little piece of it, we have what's called the My Allre dashboard, and there's basically 8 tabs across the top that manage your real estate life on Allre. So it manages your activity and your messages and your showing calendar and your offers. And so our goal is that once users get familiar with the technology and they can see, you know, okay, this is where everything is housed, that it starts making sense. But I do realize that at first glance, it's like, wow, that's a lot. But it has to be.
So obviously this is ripe for disruption, but there's always this chicken and egg problem. And for the most part, key to any market is getting the buyers there. So how are you going to help these sellers be able to better market and get buyers interested in their listings?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we did is a study on basically the top 5 ways that buyers find properties. And right now that's basic Google searching, social media, neighborhood, like for sale sign, and then friends and family, neighborhood gossip, and then obviously the MLS. And we don't connect with the MLS, but we do give our sellers access to the other 4 things, and we push those pretty hard. The Google searching, the social media, so on and so forth. And then we also give them the tools to go out and put their home on other big third-party real estate sites, because they can do that, because they're for sale by owner, which will help bring traffic to their property.
All right. Unfortunately, we're out of time. You did a great job, though. That was Allre. Give it up.